Hello, I'm James Ezimoha. Welcome to Africa News, where we bring you the latest updates from across the African continent. Let's see your headlines. 43 dead and others injured as the rebels attack Catholic Church in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Sudan officials have backed French President Macron's pledge to recognize a Palestinian state at the UN. Nigeria hosts 14th African Arm Wrestling Championship. The second UN Food Systems Summit is due to take place today in Addis Ababa. The three-day event, co-hosted by Ethiopia and Italy, is meant to analyze and address the progress made towards building more resilient and sustainable food systems 4 years after the inaugural summit.
The UN Food Systems Summit opens in Addis Ababa on Monday for a three-day session. Co-hosted by Ethiopia and Italy, the summit marks the second global review since the inaugural event in 2021. It will assess progress in transforming global food systems and accelerate collective efforts toward achieving the Sustainable Development Goals.
In the current UNFSS, I think we should expect more action, and not just action, but collective action, because Africa, despite our fragmented nature, we have common problems in terms of climate change, in terms of food systems fragmentation, in terms of food and nutrition security. So we need to really rally around and advance collective action.
For this year, we expect to see a lot of transformations, information on transformative actions that are taking place in countries that are implementing this food system holistically. You know, the essence is to accelerate the achievement of the SDGs.
The summit aims to bring together governments, civil society, and the private sector to share ideas, forge partnerships, and mobilize resources to build more resilient and equitable food systems.
As Ethiopia hosts a major UN summit on food systems, a youth-led initiative near Addis Ababa is drawing attention. Small poultry farms are cutting food costs and offering new opportunities for young people, all without being on the official agenda.
As Ethiopia hosts the UN Food Systems Summit stocktake in Addis Ababa, a youth-led poultry project on the outskirts of the capital is offering a local response to rising food prices. Here, groups of young people have established small-scale chicken farms with support from local authorities. And they're selling eggs and live chickens at lower prices than traditional markets. One consumer said a bird that once sold for up to $36 now goes for as little as $18, depending on size. This initiative is part of a broader government effort to boost domestic food production. Launched in June 2024, it now includes more than 20 youth associations in the Fury locality alone. Sanbato Lumi, a local job creation officer, explains that the initiative addresses both food affordability and youth unemployment.
We've been able to produce chicken and eggs in mass by organising our unemployed youths. There are about 20 youth associations in this locality alone. These associations supply the society eggs and chicken at a very low price, especially for the residents of this area, and at exhibitions and bazaars during festive season.
While the Shega farms are not officially part of the UN Summit program, they reflect the grassroots solutions the event aims to spotlight. For now, the model appears to be working, offering relief to families facing high food prices and provides young people with a sustainable source of income.
At least 43 people have been killed and several others injured in an attack on a church in the northeast of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Local authorities have blamed the attack on rebels of the Allied Democratic Forces and urged the government to beef up security in the region. Chris Ocharimga has more from Kinshasa.
The attack against civilians happened over the weekend in the Democratic Republic of Congo's northeastern province of Ituri. Local officials say a group of armed men raided a Catholic church in the town of Komanda at night and killed Christians who were attending a vigil using machetes and guns. The assailants are reported to have looted property and torched houses before they got away. The DRC army has attributed the killings to rebels of the Allied Democratic Forces, ADF. The group, which is originally from Uganda, is widely reported to have links to the Islamic State. Its fighters have been accused of killing thousands of Congolese civilians in eastern DRC since 2017. In late 2021, troops from Uganda and the DRC launched joint operations against the ADF rebels known as Operation Shujaa, but attacks against civilians have continued. The United Nations peacekeeping mission in the DRC has condemned the attack in Komanda and urged Congolese authorities to carry out a thorough investigation and bring those responsible to justice. Chris Ochamringa for A News in Kinshasa.
Khartoum has welcomed President Macron's pledge to recognize a Palestinian state at the UN in September. The African Union also endorsed the move, which would make France the first G7 nation to take this step. Naba Mohideen reports from Port Sudan.
In a statement, the Sudanese Foreign Ministry welcomed Macron's plan and urged other countries to follow France's lead and described it as a courageous and positive step towards securing a state for Palestinian people and a legitimate right for them to have a state with full sovereignty. This step was highly welcomed by the Sudanese government, and also it urged other countries to follow France's lead in the recognition of Palestinian people and rights to have a state. Many Arab countries also are seeing that the resolution of the Palestinian crisis is reliant on making two states for Palestinian, and the capital should be Jerusalem. There was a conference, peace conference, that's supposed to be held in June, and it was postponed due to the recent escalation between Israel and Iran. Many Arab countries should be involving in this plan. Macron's plan is part of France's strategy in the Middle East to sustain and participate in peace efforts in the Middle East and to resolve the crisis. It's supposed to be announced in the next UN General Assembly in September. Sudan and many other countries should also involve in this important conference, and of course they are seeing that the resolution of the Palestinian crisis is to have two states with full sovereignty, and the capital should be Jerusalem. Naba Mohideen for A News, Port Sudan in Sudan.
Nigeria has hosted the 14th African Arm Wrestling Championship in Abuja, drawing athletes from 20 countries. With a special spotlight on power arm wrestling, the event is not only about competition, but also about inclusion, opportunity, and the future of the sport in Africa.
Over 400 athletes from 20 African nations converged in Abuja for the 14th African Arm Wrestling Championship, a major qualifier for the 2025 World Championship in Bulgaria. The tournament is part of a wider push to elevate arm wrestling across the continent, not just as a sport, but as a source of inclusion and income. Competitors say the passion for sports runs deep.
It's my passion because my dad is an arm wrestler. I'm born into it. And since I was a small boy, I wanted to be an arm wrestler. I played rugby and a lot of sports, but arm wrestling is my favorite so far. It's the best.
Oh, wow. I'm really happy. The reason why is that, I didn't know that I can even be in this competition. And do you know what makes me happy most? Not I'm just participating only, I participate for my own country, Nigeria. I'm so happy for that. I'm really happy.
Organisers say the aim now is to turn passion into profession, with financial support for athletes at the heart of their mission.
I always say that sports is business. Sports must create employment. So if you play and you don't get remunerated or you don't get anything out of it, then we haven't achieved. So the focus is to create events where athletes or pullers who play arm wrestling will be rewarded.
With eyes now on the 2025 World Championship in Bulgaria, Africa's arm wrestlers, including para-athletes, are showing the continent's growing muscle in a sport once overlooked.
Well, that's all we have today in Africa News. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to A News.